The United States sees risk of COVID supply rationing without more funds. I think one of the quotes in this article is that we're going to have to be planning for dire situation or something. The word dire is used. So let me read this. Here it is in the first sentence. All right. The White House is planning for dire contingencies that could include rationing supplies of vaccines and treatments this fall if Congress does not approve more money for fighting COVID-19. In public comments and private meetings on Capitol Hill, Dr. Ashish Jha, the White House coronavirus coordinator, has painted a dark picture in which the U.S. could be forced to cede many of the advances made against the coronavirus over the last 2 years. Now, I just want to say, what advances? Like, can someone point one advance besides the vaccine? That's what advances? Many of the advances made against the coronavirus? Okay. What? Like, I'm curious. I would love to know what advances they're talking about. Biden administration officials have been warning for weeks that the country has spent nearly all the money on the $1.9 trillion American Rescue Plan that was dedicated directly to COVID response. A small pool of money remains, and the administration faces critical decisions about how to spend it. Now, I just want to say, Joe Biden is directing states to use COVID surplus, like COVID relief surplus that they still haven't used yet. I guess it's not necessarily surplus, right? But it's earmarked for COVID, and it's just, they're not spending it all at once, right? Because they want to have contingencies. The White House is literally directing those states that have COVID money in the bank to spend that money on cops. So we got a little bit of a mixed messaging here. That means tough decisions, like weighing whether to use it to secure the next generation of vaccines to protect the highest risk populations or giving priority to a supply of highly effective therapies that dramatically reduce the risks of severe illness and death. That decision may be made in the coming week, according to the administration, as the White House faces imminent deadlines to begin placing orders for vaccines and treatments before other nations jump ahead of the U.S. in accessing supply. Jha has wondered that without more money, vaccines will be harder to come by and tests will once again be scarce. Reminder, the White House has said you can order 8 more COVID tests. So go get your COVID tests if you haven't gotten the third round. First round was 4, second round was 4, third round is 8. To my understanding. Go get them if you haven't yet. And therapeutics that are helping the country weather the current Omicron-driven surge in cases without a commensurate increase in death could be sold overseas before Americans can access them. Quote, I think we would see a lot of unnecessary loss of life if that were to happen, Jha said in the past week, but we're looking at all the scenarios and planning for all of them. Can we again stop treating COVID like a binary? Oh, either you die or you're perfectly healthy. That never existed. I am not concerned, honestly, for my own health, being triple vaxxed, I am not concerned at all with dying from COVID. Now, maybe I should be. It's possible I could die if I got it. But I'm just letting you know, if I get COVID, I am fucking scared to death of having to deal with neurological disease for the rest of my life, having to deal with muscle issues for the rest of my life, having to deal with sense issues for the rest of my life, not being able to taste food and so on and so forth. So, oh yes, I know the death rate is spectacularly low, but guess what? Long COVID, right, has been identified in around 40% of people that catch COVID. They develop long COVID symptoms. So, yeah, am I concerned about dying? A little bit, maybe a little bit, right? I don't want to die after all. But I'm way more concerned with neurological issues. Because I don't know about y'all. I value this fucking thing. This thing here, I want to take good care of that. So that's why I'm staying at home all day, every day. He said the administration was getting much more into the scenario planning business to make sure that we know what may be ahead of us so we can plan for it and obviously also lay those out in front of Congress. Ja, who declined to put a specific projection on the potential loss of life, has become the face of the Biden administration's efforts to persuade Congress to approve an additional $22.5 billion for COVID-19 response. The White House previously said like 100 million cases or something is their estimate if there's no COVID relief. So anyway, I think we're fucked, personally. You can read the rest of this article on the AP News if you'd like. I think we're fucked. That's my opinion. I think we're fucked. And just to be very clear, just to clear up some misconceptions, I don't think that we're going to get fucked in the good dick way. I know we're all craving it. I know it's been a long time, but goddamn, this is not going to be good. And it's preventable. Right? This is all a choice being made by the owners of this country, the billionaire class, the oligarchs that own this country, that bought and paid for every single politician in Congress, except for maybe a handful, 5 or 6 or 7 or whatever. Like, they want this. This is their decision. The Elon Musks, the Bill Gates, the Jeff Bezoses, this is their decision. They are choosing, you know what? We're going to have widespread mass genocide and eugenicist policies take control of this country, because that's what they're doing. This is an experiment. They're experimenting. I don't want to sound too much like a crazy person here, but like $22 billion that's not a lot. Like, we just spent more than that on aid for Ukraine, right? Which, in my opinion, is necessary. We should be helping Ukraine defend itself, but also we should be helping our own citizens defend ourselves. Why? What is the advantage? I ask you this. What is the advantage for a politician to not approve of $22 billion for COVID funding? What do they gain from this? What do the rich people who fund all of these politicians, what do they gain from this? Like, what is the... Okay, so we're going to... million dead. Let's work on the second million. We're already fast approaching the second million. Let's go. You know, they always say the first million was the hardest, right? That's what they say, right? So what is the benefit of letting COVID run rampant in this country and kill untold amounts of people and permanently debilitate around like half the people that get it? I can't think of a reason why they would want to do that. But that's what's happening. That's what they're doing. They're all grouping together, the corporations, right? The billionaire class, the oligarchs, and the politicians. They're all grouping together and saying, fuck you, to the average person. They're saying, fuck you, I hope you die. I hope you suffer. I hope your family dies. I hope your dog dies. Fuck you. That's what this country is saying to you. And again, the American population, dumb as fuck. I just covered this poll a couple days ago. Only 19% of Americans think COVID is a big problem. Americans are fucking stupid. Americans are fucking dumb. This is a feedback loop of dumb, fuck, shit, fuck, motherfuck. That's what this is. It's a disaster. And nobody gives a fuck. No one cares at all. So anyway, don't want to depress y'all, but that's how I'm feeling today.